Well, it didn't take long for Democrats and their legacy media allies to bring out the knives for Speaker of the House Mike Johnson following his election yesterday. And while we do need to be praying for him amid these attacks, and you can do so by texting the word speaker to 67742. We've got a prayer pledge, and we're standing with him in prayer. We also need to be praying for the House, for the entire Congress, and we're doing that as well. So they can take on these difficult challenges that are ahead of them. I mean, we've got the Middle East. It's currently a tinderbox. Government funding set to expire in just over 3 weeks. There's a lot to be accomplished. But I want to talk a little bit about these attacks that are coming just one day into the job. Joining me now to discuss this and much more is House Majority Leader Steve Scalise. He represents the 1st Congressional District of Louisiana. Leader Scalise, welcome back to the program.
Tony, always great to be back with you.
So I don't know if you heard me at the opening, but they've found some damaging information on Mike Johnson. He has a covenant marriage, and you know a little bit about that because you helped me pass that back in 1997.
It was your bill when you were a state representative. I was proud to support the bill, and Mike Johnson was one of the earliest ones to marry his beautiful wife, Kelly, and was featured nationally about it. You know, and if that's what they're going to attack him on, then boy, they've really found a great one. Let's keep telling that story.
Well, let me say this. I just want to commend you, Steve, for the way you handled all of this in the last few weeks. I know you've got many things going on, and we had you on the program, and we've been praying for you, for your health. But also, you were being considered for Speaker, and that was a difficult process. And then when everybody unified around Mike yesterday, you came right there with him, and you were right at his side. And I'm excited, quite frankly, for the House, because now there's going to be a seamless relationship in the leadership with the Speaker and the leader and the rest working together to move the Congress forward.
Well, Tony, it was so important that we come back together and get the House open together and unify. And Mike Johnson's a dear friend. I've known him for almost 20 years, back to when we were in the State House. We fought a lot of battles together. Mike and I are both former Republican Study Committee chairmen, so conservatives at heart, and we want the same things for the country. And so, philosophically, we're right on the same page. I met with him yesterday. We rolled out a new calendar last night. We were supposed to be out back in our districts the next 2 weeks. We're coming back to D.C. because we've got a lot of work to do to make up for lost time, to get our appropriations process back on track, to get spending under control, to get our border secure, to lower inflation, to support Israel, to stand up to Iran. We're bringing a piece of legislation next week, Tony, to ban Iran exports of oil. They're making billions of dollars selling their oil and using that to fund Hamas to go and invade and attack and kill Jews and Americans and others in Israel. I mean, why would we be helping Iran? Biden administration dropped sanctions on Iran to let them sell more oil and make billions of dollars. We're bringing a bill to stop that. We can make more energy in America. We can make it cleaner, and that money doesn't go to Hamas. So we're going to bring those bills next week. Mike's ready to get us to work, and I am really proud of him, but proud to be there with him as the majority leader to get our agenda back on track. And I think most Americans, as they get to know Mike Johnson, they're going to love his passion, his love for this country, and his desire to get back to the constitutional principles, Tony, that you and I know we hold so dear, but are being threatened by the left right now.
Steve, yesterday in his remarks before the House, he made reference to, I'm actually quoting scripture, about how, difficulties, persevering through that, it makes us stronger, it gives us greater hope. The House has been through a lot just this year, since this new Congress, but the last 3 weeks. In your opinion, is the Congress stronger? Is there more hope? I mean, I certainly saw it yesterday, but you're there right in the middle of it. Is there more optimism moving forward?
There absolutely is. And look, the last 3 weeks, it's not like we were just sitting around. I mean, we were having a lot of internal conversations, Tony, about how we make the institution work better. This town is broken. Washington has been failing the American people for too long. Both parties. You don't see the Democrats doing anything to try to change what is broken. They're making things worse for families. They're moving towards socialism. We spent the last 3 weeks, and I was involved in a lot of these conversations, talking about how to refocus on the things that matter to the struggling families, the hardworking families, the people that get up every day and go to work. And they're tired of waking up going, what is a federal agency going to do to come after me today when I'm just trying to go about my life? You know, what federal agency is going to try to make a small business have to shut down because they're putting burdens and regulations that make no sense, the woke stuff coming out of every agency, all of this garbage that makes families struggle, raises costs, and does nothing to promote what is great about this country. How do we confront it better? And that's what we're focused on. You don't see, the Senate did nothing, by the way, for the last 3 weeks, and they weren't in disarray. They had a functioning majority, and they didn't do any work.
That's nothing new.
The press doesn't cover that.
That's not new.
I don't mind if the press covers the fact that we spent 3 weeks focusing on how to make the House work better, because now we are refocused. And our focus is going to benefit the American people who are sick and tired of what's broken about Washington.
Well, you said the Senate's not working. Well, I mean, that's really nothing new. But I do want to play a clip from the Senate scare leader, Chuck Schumer, today on the Senate floor. Clip 5.
If Speaker Johnson repeats the mistakes of Speaker McCarthy, if he tumbles down the MAGA road, it will be inevitable that the House finds itself trapped in even more chaos very soon.
So I think the message from Scare Leader Schumer is the Republicans in the House need to wave a white flag and just sign up and go with our agenda.
Yeah, and they don't even know what MAGA means. It's like when the Tea Party movement was emerging, and Nancy Pelosi called it fomentum and all those words, and then she lost the majority not long after because it was people sick and tired of Washington trampling over the rights of hardworking people. That's what the left has been doing for the last few years since COVID. When you saw all the shutdowns in the blue states, and then you saw the red states saying, we're going to open up and embrace freedom, and we're going to let parents have a say in their kids' education. And the Democrats were the ones standing in the way, embracing socialism and shutdowns. And the people who could move, they moved out of blue states and moved to red states. Well, we can't move out of the United States. We have to fix what's broken in this country, and that means we need to change the people that are running Washington. And Chuck Schumer and Joe Biden are not going to be in office come the end of next year because I think the American people are sick and tired of the socialist movement, the big government socialism. It's failed everywhere. It's been tried in other countries. We cannot let them ruin this great country, and they're trying to.
Congressman Steve Scalise, one final question for you. We're almost up against a break, but the House is just one branch. You've got the one chamber of the legislative branch. How are you going to drive that contrast so the American people see the choice that's before them come next November?
Tony, I think it starts with the border and with spending. And I think the American people are already with us. This is where Joe Biden really doesn't get it. You don't just have Republicans. You've got Democrat mayors. Look at Abrams in New York. You've got mayors all across the country. The mayor of Dallas just switched parties from Democrat to Republican. If they don't realize what's going on in this country, because they opened the border, millions of people come across, including people on the terrorist watch list, people from Middle Eastern countries that want to do us harm that have not been vetted at a time when you just saw how dangerous the world has gotten. Joe Biden has opened up our border and let the drug cartels take over and bring in drugs that are killing our young people. People are sick and tired of it in every community in America, and he won't do anything. We are going to stand up and fight, and we're not just fighting alone. We're fighting now with Democrats who are sick and tired of it too. The American people are figuring this out, and Joe Biden won't. And if he doesn't get on board and work with us to fix it, he won't be president come the end of next year.
Yeah. Congressman Steve Scalise, again, excellent job this week. You just made, I'm so proud of you. You've done such a great job, and just appreciate you coming on today, and always great to talk with you.
Well, appreciate your faith. Appreciate your prayers along the way, Tony. I know you pray for us, for our country. Your listeners have prayed for my health, and I thank you because my health is getting dramatically better. But this country needs to come back. Everybody who believes in freedom here in America and the world counts on us. We cannot let this great country fail. We won't.
You're absolutely right. Love you, brother. Have a good weekend.
Love you. Thank you. God bless.